All right, let's take a look at this oak. Whatever that is, that's got to be 80. It might be 90 feet tall. And you can see that first branching structure starts right in the middle of the tree there. Right in there is where those first branches, main branches, scaffolding limbs come off. And above that, in that canopy, there's quite a bit of dieback. You might not be able to say too well on the video, but it's not perfect, but it's not the worst either. So it's probably got bacterial leaf scorch, slowly, taking it out. But let's really, the purpose of this video is to take a look at this lower growth here. What is that? It's all new growth. It's all epicormic shoot growth coming out of the base of that tree in all directions. And it's just laying there in the sun. So what's it doing? It's protecting the trunk of that tree from full sun so it doesn't overheat. We're about 10 o'clock in the morning now, and that sun is just gonna beat down on the trunk of that tree all day long because there's no other trees around it if that growth wasn't there. Now, she said she had a lot of trees removed on this property, so it may have been that tree, that exposure, sun exposure is new because there was a lot of other trees growing around it before. But I'm telling you right now, any arborist that says, come in, we got to cut all those limbs off, is doing that tree a tremendous disservice. Number one, just look at the amount of leaves that are out there soaking up the sun. That's how a tree makes a living. That's how a tree gets strong. If you're trying to protect the top of the tree and keep it strong and as healthy as possible to fight off the bacterial leaf scorch, then the tree needs every leaf it has on the bottom of the tree. So I'd leave that, number one. And number two, aesthetically, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not great. But number three, definitely the tree needs protection from the sun. Eventually those branches might get long enough they actually shade some of the ground so that the root protection is protected from the root zone, is protected from the sun too. So that's my take on this tree. What do you think? What would you do with this tree? I would just go up there and take some deadwood out, pick at it a little bit. I would leave every single stick on the bottom of this tree if I could. Your thoughts are appreciated and valued. We're looking at this pin oak here, scarlet oak, whatever it is. And you can see some old cuts here. Let's just whack off the lower limbs. Okay, do that, whatever that is. That's 5-10 years ago by the look of that new growth on there. And maybe that will eventually grow over without the whole percent of the tree rotting out. And then they went ahead and just cut all the interior branches off, lion's tailing it. There's just a little green on the end of this tips here. And so what did the tree do? The tree responded by saying, hey, let me put out some new growth here, try to give some shade on the trunk, take this light that, now is being wasted and try to, make myself some sugar, make myself some food, and protect myself from this western sky here, where that sun's gonna be beating down on my trunk, overheating me. And so what does the client do? Or the tree guy comes in here and just whacks off all these little water sprouts, epicormic shoots, whatever you want to call them, suckers, and just doing more damage to the tree. Got to work with the intelligence of the tree. That tree knows what it needs better than some guy with a chainsaw. Let me tell you that. And it doesn't mean you have to leave every single one of them, but if the tree's trying to put some shade in the trunk, let the trunk be shaded.